Okay. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Long time no talk. Um, I've been not even not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna jump back into it like this hasn't stopped. Um, there's a few things I want to talk about, man. A few things. Let me turn my mic up. Some reason people be saying I be quiet in these podcasts, so I'm gonna turn my mic up, and I'll probably turn the last like editing volume. I'm trying to put my mic closer. So sorry if y'all hear the mic moving. Um, so I took a break from social media for a while. I also took a break from drinking for a while. I say a while. People have gone years and stuff without drinking, and some people go long times without social media and just don't need it. My mom is a great person who doesn't need it. Um, she's been on it more and more recently. She's gotten, more familiar with Facebook Marketplace and stuff, but she's just not constantly on it. Um, but what I wanted to share was some of my experience with that. What I think the real issues that are facing young people like me who are online, I guess, are in a world that allows them to be online a lot. So one of those is um I'll start with the social media before we go into the drinking thing. Because the drinking thing is more personal. It's more, I guess, in touch with what this podcast is. Um I will say that social media doesn't help what I think the actual problem might be. Maybe the actual problem for me is different than other people, but I think I'm starting to see this in other people. Um, I was looking up information on a certain type of like online addictions, and I saw a study that talked about TMI, trigger warning. It's not trigger warning, but TMI, TMI. There was a study talking about different types of addiction, specifically related to like, well, not specific, but it talked about one of the addictions was pornography addiction. That's what I was kind of looking up on it, and it said like 63% of people in this study um, had a pornography addiction. But then what I found was also interesting was the same 63% pretty much all had an internet addiction as well, or an online addiction. And I think that is very, very, very interesting. Um, because it shows to me that maybe that the effects of being online in general, or what we're doing online, although diminishing, may not be actually part of like the real issue. It is. It's a symptom of the real issue to some degree. So I think my buddy always talks to me about how short form content is like brain rotting the brain. Like he was really happy when TikTok was supposed to get banned, and I agree with him on this. The one of the things he taught me was, or told me, was people in the past used to like sit and watch these magnificent plays, um, you know, for for hours, or symphonies and stuff like that, and just be immersed in it. And if they were bored, it wasn't like they had to go look at something else. They could just sit there and like think their own thoughts and just enjoy the music and be somewhat present, if not, they were forced to be. So um the mind was more catered towards this long form thing. I think you don't even have to go that far back. We can talk about sporting events in the 1900s, and how although it may be less presence, and I mean something specific when I say presence, so bear with me there, but it may be less presence than the people, beforehand, but those people would sit there for hours and didn't have a phone to open up. It was just you, your buddies, in the event. Um, no need for the distraction. Um, our phones have ultimately changed us. Our computers have ultimately changed us. Things like Vine, YouTube Shorts. Those are the extreme. This is the extreme version of this, but we did all to some degree succumb to short form content now as a means of enjoyment. Um, I'm not trigger warning again, but oh, I won't say that. There was something I was gonna say. Um, but yeah, I think I find most of my friends who watch YouTube or movies and stuff like that, especially the ones who suffer from like ADHD and stuff, of course, they're going to be catered in a world where your dopamine craving and short form content is like the epitome of all truth. This is why I'm saying like ADHD, for someone with ADHD, people who actually have the, like diagnosis psychiatrically, um, sometimes it's hard for me to distinguish those people from average normal people because they've all succumbed to the issue. Um, people, one, you're in ADHD, your brain is like misfiring. Like that's the neuroscientific way of understanding it. Um, but even in the brain of people who's not misfiring, we all to some degree are just craving dopamine now and stimuli. Um, and so, anyways, I say all that to say that I think those short form content things and stuff like that is scary, but is a bigger issue of how difficult is it for you to put down your phone. Getting off social media was nice, but I didn't get off my phone. I was still watching YouTube shorts and I'd have to catch myself doom scrolling. I deleted everything and I found myself just scrolling Pinterest, which is like not interesting at all to me. Like I shouldn't say not, but like I have like three main boards on Pinterest and I get it. Oh, dude with Pinterest, that's weird. But like nah, bro. Like weird qualification of myself. Weird trying to save my image as a man. But no, I just found myself scrolling that. And I remember I remember doing it and thinking like this is just I'm doing the same thing. Like if it's not Instagram, it's Pinterest. If it's not TikTok, it's YouTube Shorts. Um I started a book this year and I just struggled to get through it. I even noticed that like I watch videos now fast. My friends kind of got me into it, but watching videos like long form videos at 2 times speed just so I can get through it. I listen to audiobooks really fast now, but it's hard to retain information. And uh something I always said is I wish when you bought an audiobook or if you bought a physical copy of a book, it came with the audiobook. Cuz then I'd be more inclined to buy a physical copy because then I could listen to it and then also, retain the information. Like well, I could like mark down in the book things I liked and add notes. And I can do that with audiobooks. I could take notes and listen, but it's very hard. When I listen to audiobooks, I'm typically at work or something. And retaining knowledge when you have ADHD is not easy. I think I forgot what I was getting on this point, but I think the purpose of it was information now is or what holds our attention now is dopamine. I feel like, at least for most people, not most people. I know for sure for ADHD people, which I think are more common sometimes than we tend to think. Um, and then neurotypical people, we'll call them or whatever, um, are starting to get stuck into the ruts of this as a culture. Um, and so information is what gives us a high. I think that's why news has been the way it's been since like the 50s and 60s, and 70s and 80s. The battling types of Fox and CNN and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I think phone addiction, internet addiction, information addiction. There's a great quote from Curry. I was gonna say Denzel Carter or Denzel Curry, Denzel Washington. Neither of those guys. Where it's oh, where's my phone? I would rather quote it. A rapper I like has a song about it called Pedantic. And even then, in Pedantic, he has some great quotes. Mm, I think a lot of people wouldn't like that style of rap. Actually, there's a lot. I think people would like that style of rap. I think I know people in my life who would be like, "This is cringe, bro," but I enjoy it. Um, yeah, I think it's from a movie. No, it's a soundbite from an interview he did in 2016. It says, "If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. What is the long-term effect of too much information?" Um, and yeah, even in the chorus of Pedantic, Show Baraka, who's their rapper, he says, information, information, man, I need some information. I've been dying. Is it lack of education? I've been reading without any transformation. I'm addicted. Is it overstimulation? Um, and I think that's like, we are very much addicted. I don't want to get weird with it all, but we're just super addicted to our phones, to being online. Everyone's got their face down. We do everything with technology. This is the worst part about it. I've told my therapist for the last like 2 sessions that so much of my life happens online. Um, I think of me and sometimes even my own brother at times. Excuse me, sorry. When it comes to like friendships, unless you're a person I hang out with at work or see you at work, making new friends in persons and connections and stuff like that is scary. I've talked to you guys in the past about my struggles with women in relationships. That seems so foreign to me. I got two girls' numbers off of a dating apps recently, and which I think are toxic to begin with. But I, one of them seemed really genuine, like she wanted to engage and get to know me and talk to me, and but it was also like a sense of like quickness to build the connection, and I just was like, I don't know what to say, and I was also bored by it, and I was like, dang, this isn't as stimulating or entertaining. Talking to this woman isn't as entertaining or stimulating as swiping. But you know what else is crazy is I don't know. I'm too anxious and insecure to go talk to women typically in person to ask for a number or whatever. So, um, so being online seems the only resort. So relationships, connections, friendships. Most of my friendships right now are online. And so when I took a break from social media, man, I felt really lonely because it was like I don't have nobody to talk to, and the people that I do talk to in person, um, I feel like we talk so very rare now and then, and that's probably my own issue. It's probably because I have a lot of relationships for stimuli, and if it's not stimulating, I don't want to do it, and that's toxic on my own end because I do love these people for them, but I also do. There's part of me that's toxic and loves them for what they give me, um, and that's honest. That's hard, I think, for people to say. People don't want to admit that they love people for what they serve them and what they give them, but it's honest. It's honest. It's scary to admit it. It's hard to admit because I don't want to live my life that way. I want to love my people because I love my people and I'm interested in them, and I'm moving towards that. I'm noticing. Anyways, yeah, I think social media, short form content, pornography addiction, which the thing I was going to say earlier that I didn't want to say was guilty as charged. If you've ever seen pornography on Twitter, you know highly that it comes in typically short form content. So even the thing you're now you're getting like you're ruining your attention span. You're getting high doses of dopamine release. Like that can't be good. But this is the larger symptom. I don't know if I said it. I think I told my therapist the last two sessions was I wish I could just get off of this all. I wish I could come to my computer and make music without having to. I almost wish I had an MPC. If I had like thousands of dollars right now, I'd buy me an MPC and then I'd figure out a way to load it with samples without my like computer or whatever, and then just go. Maybe I could make something fun or new and innovative, and I think it would take time and patience that maybe I don't have and I'm still struggling to get. But um, but I do that and have a grand old time. You know, like I feel it just something. It, the craving of something different can be cringe too because it's reactionary. But in some spaces, I think it's like, you know, like getting away from technology when my life is so dependent on it is I think would be good. But yeah, maybe that's a concern I have. Um, I said alcohol. I took like a 53-day break from drinking. My mind was very clear. I did crave it a lot of times, and I've recently started drinking again. And dude, either like I think I have a bias thing with alcohol. One, because I'm just like, ugh, like I feel clear when I wasn't. You know, I felt better when I wasn't. But I also think like how much of this is like I should have went longer because what I should have dug into in the time was how much of it was a pride in like look at me for being so good for not drinking, and how much of it was authentically like, oh, I just feel better. And I don't think drinking is bad. Having a drink or two is not bad. I just know myself and know I have trouble controlling myself. I spent a lot of money. I went out the other day and I spent way too much money drinking and then had to go to church the next day. Wake up early. And I was beat that day. I was so tired and exhausted. And I'm like, I exhausted myself for alcohol and almost missed church. Something that's supposed to be very important to me and is. I didn't want to go to church yesterday, but I woke up, got out of bed, and went because I'm like, bro, go to church. It's good for you and it's great and it's fun and I enjoyed it and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I have those convictions now and stuff to just like go. Like I desire to go. That's a big change in me. I used to be like, oh, I have to wake up early, but now it's like I get to go to church and that's fun. My church is awesome. I love my church. Shout out my church. um, but yeah, I think alcohol. I would love to see alcohol in a better context. I also think I was talking to my buddy about this. Dancing is so great. Dancing is like the one of the greatest expressions of like human freedom to me because it's like um I had a bar in a song. I don't even remember what song it was. I don't even know if I released this song. But I something along the lines of no, I didn't release it, but it's like who I am. The bar was kind of like who I am when I'm dancing. It's like who I want to be. And it's like because when I was younger, and I still do to some degree. Like I was dancing, trying to get people's attention to look at me, look how cool I am. Because I feel, but there's also like a psychology thing. Is like I feel weird dancing like crazy and going all out, and then being the only one that's doing it. And it's also been like I'm not as good as a dancer as I was when I was a teenager, but I posted a video up of me dancing on my Snapchat just to bro, this is fun. And I think that moment, this is what I'm kind of rapping about. I said something along like the lines of like, who I am when I'm dancing is who I want to be. And it's just because you feel free. Like you're not worried. You're just having a genuine good time. Especially when you're doing it with friends and you're all just like, da, da, da. Like that's so much fun. And that fun is just really like you don't care. A lot of things, you become very authentic, I think, in that moment. Um, and I hate this culture of Western culture of like party culture, where it's like you can't go out without drinks, and men are typically told to like play the wall. And it's funny to see kids all tell me. I hear not kids, but like young people. I say kids because we're all kids still, but like I'm 25, maybe I'm that kid. But young people constantly telling me, "Yo, I wish that like clubs aren't what they seemed like in uh, the 2008 videos and Kesha and all that time. It seemed like people just dancing and having fun, and now it's all party, party, crazy, crazy, drink, 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 stand still, get hit on by weird men." And I'm like, bro, like, I wonder how much power we have to change dance culture. If we're gonna go out, let's go out. Let's just have fun. Let's not drink. Let's dance. Let's find a club that maybe has a lot of space and just with your group of friends you dance. I don't think dancing is bad. I don't think going out dancing is bad. Maybe let's be home at a timely manner. Let's do that, but let's just go have fun. Sing along to some songs we enjoy. But I think I've gone really long. So the last thing I wanted to say was this. Okay. Oversharing. Something I'm fearing I'm doing in this podcast, but I've kind of needed to do was I've overshared. I crave to overshare. I think a lot of people do. I watched a video recently of a guy talking about his time at this ministry camp before he became an atheist, and he said we were too vulnerable with each other, and I was like, dang, bro. As a guy right now, I understand wanting to just like tell everybody everything I'm going through because it sucks and it hurts and it feels so drastic and real to me. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, he's right. You should be able to say whatever you need to say, but you have to be mindful of when and where and the right time to say it. The Bible talks about there's a time for everything. I don't want to misquote it. It's Ecclesiastes 3, I believe. Um, and it's a passage that's sitting with me more than ever right now. Popped in my head as soon as I watched the video and thought about all this. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I think. Yeah. I have to read this because maybe I don't want to take this out of context. I've just been hearing this in church since I was a kid. So, but for there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what's been planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Um, there's a time for everything. And maybe that's talking about God's sovereignty over, or maybe it's talking about the fear of time and how time feels so irrational and crazy and like things happen wildly and da, 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 da. That seems more likely knowing the context I know of Ecclesiastes. But I still think that there was a thing that I think was the time to speak, a time to listen was one of those, and that the time to keep silent and time to speak. Yeah, being mindful, recognizing that I'm gracious for this series that I've been able to share my thoughts with you guys and that people listen, even if it's only like 10 people. Thank you, 10 people. Um, you guys listened, and it made a big difference in my life. Being able to get a lot of stuff out of my chest, and I went back and listened a few times, and I'm like, dang, I really was redundant, and I still am. But it's because a lot of the issues that I'm having are ones that maybe I haven't solved deeply, or issues that I'm realizing. Like, my therapist asked me the other day to say something like nice about myself that I liked about myself, and I couldn't. I had nothing. I had not one thing nice to say about myself. Um, and I'm like, dang, I felt like that months ago. Like that I had nothing to say about myself. Oops, I touched the mic. But I had nothing to say about myself. And it's like, dang, the fact that I'm still feeling that is like sad. Um but yeah. It's just something I want to be more mindful of. I crave and desire to share all my feelings all the time because they're real and they need to get expressed by something at some moment. There's a girl. One, I fall easy because it feeds my ego. And I don't mean feeds my ego in a negative sense of like, oh, I become this egotistical a hole. No, I have like super low self esteem. So if somebody likes me or claims they're attracted to me, I just feel good. And there was a girl that at some point would claim that she was attracted to me, and now she's talking to another guy, and they're having fun and a great time, and I'm happy for her. It's actually happening right now with two girls. Um, one of the girls views me as like, you know, um, well, let me not say that. Let me not say that. The one girl that I was mainly talking about is the one I kind of want to focus on because that's the one that's bothering the most right now. Is maybe it's because of my brain, it feels like she turned it off so quickly, and maybe because in my brain, I can imagine finding attraction to somebody and then not like wow, like trying to like sit with it because I am like insecure. But actually, I think it's happening with three girls right now. No, four girls. Yeah, four girls that I talked to. Bro, maybe I can't believe I even recognize it. It's four girls. Yeah. Um, but the one I'm talking about, yeah, the fact that it felt like she just like moved so quickly, like that hurts. Um, and I remember the other day something happened, and I wanted to like she was sending pictures with him or something, and I wanted to say it to her. I wanted to tell her, I'm like, this hurts me, and I'm like, no, I can know that it hurts me, and that be fine. And if it ever comes up, or if I have the chance or opportunity to, and it won't be, overbearing or too much, then I will. And that seems reasonable and fine. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Sorry, this is a bit of a longer one. Quick update. I do have some new stuff in the works. Um, and by new stuff, I just mean hoping to be more consistent with this, and then a second potential podcast coming out. So, be on the lookout for that. First drop probably this Wednesday. So, and then I might be starting another podcast. I might be doing three. One maybe less consecutively than the other, which will probably be this one. The one that I probably could do the most consistently, this one, is probably the one I'll do the least amount. Because the other two are with people, so that always makes my life easier. But alright guys, thank you so much for listening. Hope this one wasn't too much of a bore. It seemed a little more educational than the usual one, so thanks for bearing with me. God bless you guys. Oh wait, I didn't do a prayer. I usually finish these with a prayer. Let's do the prayer. I think I did this one last time, but I'll do it again. I've been praying Psalm 51 a lot. Or should I do Psalm 39? We did Psalm 39 at church the other day, and I really enjoyed it. And it's shorter. uh, I really like Psalm 51. We'll do Psalm 39. So I'll do. I think I did Psalm 51 last time. Okay. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. So starting in verse 1. I said, I will guard my ways that I may not sin with my tongue. I will guard my mouth with a muzzle, so long as the wicked are in my presence. I was mute and silent. I held my peace to no avail. Matter of fact, we're going to read this in the NLT, because Easy translation. I say to myself, I will watch what I do and not sin in what I say. I will hold my tongue when the ungodly are around me. But as I stood there in silence, not even speaking of good things, the turmoil within me grew worse. The more I thought about it, the hotter I got. Ignition of fire of words. Lord, remind me how brief my time on earth will be. Remind me that my days are numbered, how fleeting my life is. You have made my life no longer than the width of my hand. My entire lifetime is a moment to you. At best, each of us is but a breath. We are merely moving shadows, and all our busy rushing ends in nothing. We heap up wealth, not knowing who will spend it, and so, Lord, where do I put my hope? My only hope is in you. Rescue me from my rebellion. Do not let fools mock me. I am silent before you, and I won't say a word, for my punishment is from you. But please stop striking me. I'm exhausted by the blows from your hand. When you discipline us for our sins, you consume like a moth what is precious to us. Each of us is but a breath. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Listen to my cries for help. Don't ignore my tears, for I am your guest, a traveler passing through, as my ancestors were before me. Leave me alone so I can smile again, before I am gone and exist no more. We had a sermon about that. I probably want to go into this and explain a little bit about it. We had a sermon about Psalm 39, talking about our life being fleeting and praying for God to have mercy on us, basically. Not for God to leave us alone in the sense of like, don't ever discipline me, but or don't come near me, don't have hope in me, don't give me joy or whatever. But leave me alone insofar as have mercy on me. I'm deserving of wrath, but have mercy. But the idea of like, because my life is short, putting my faith in God, putting my trust in God. How will I spend this short life? Will I spend it with momentary joys or things that are fleeting? Will I spend it arguing back and forth with the ungodly and the folly? Or will I spend it in the joyous presence of God? My hope. Where will my hope go? God bless, guys.